airstrikes, drones, some other military support? Or should we only condition that on Maliki finally opening up and doing what he's refused to do for all these years, which is to include the Sunnis?
Andrea, you're right. I just did come out of a classified briefing on this, and I don't want to get into that material, but let me just say this. The way we ought to do this here in Washington is that the president should put a plan on the table and make a suggestion to Congress about what we should do. And just as we did last summer on the Foreign Relations Committee, we debated the use of military force in Syria. We had a vote. That's how the process is supposed to work. The administration has not provided any plan or suggestion, although they are deeply and constantly engaged now within the United States and with allies to determine what that should be. They need to come forward with a proposal and bring it to Congress and then let us debate about what we should do. And frankly, Andrea, as you know, this is it's not really about Iraq. I mean, it really has stemmed out of the Syrian civil war, which at the beginning looked like a civil war between Bashar al-Assad government and political opponents. Then it looked like a superpower battle on the UN Security Council. But increasingly, it's being revealed as a Sunni-Shia sectarian split with Hezbollah and Iran supporting the Shia-aligned Alawite government in Syria, and groups like ISIS and ISIL, who are Sunnis, trying to take it down. We've got to get back to work to do in Syria, the aggressive delivery of humanitarian aid to those who are under siege in accord with the UN resolution in February. If we focus on the humanitarian crisis in Syria, it will also help reduce these tensions in Iraq.
Senator, when you say the president hasn't produced a plan, you sound almost as critical of the national security strategy as some of your Republican colleagues.
Well, this is a late-breaking development. Look, nobody in the administration contemplated that the Iraqi armed forces would just melt away and capitulate as fast as they have.
Shouldn't they have? Where is our intelligence? We were there for 10 years. We ought to know something about Iraq. This isn't North Korea.
We've known a lot about ISIS and ISIL, but they didn't imagine that the Iraqi security force would capitulate. But again, Andrea, part of the problem is this. We were willing to stay and help, and they said no. And so the fact that Iraqis are not able to govern their own country because of the way Maliki has governed it, though tragic, it's not that America gets blamed for the fact that they didn't want us to stay there. So you're right. This is a very fast-moving situation, and the administration does need to come and lay some options on the table. The classified briefing this morning was more of a state of play than a presentation of options, but I would strongly recommend that the administration come to Congress very, very soon and put some options on the table about what we should be able to do and what we should be able to do in tandem with neighbors and allies. As you know, folks associated with a Turkish diplomatic facility have been kidnapped, and there's discussions about the release of those. Turkey and other nations are deeply involved in this, and obviously our decision-making needs to be in tandem with allies and neighbors.
Senator Tim Kaine, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.